fighting sport on the planet. Mixed martial arts. You've been looking for the definitive podcast to call your new home to hear everything about it. The search is over. This is the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. Bringing you the hottest MMA breakdowns straight from the heart of the octagon. This show is all about MMA breakdowns. For fans, by fans. We're talking UFC, MMA, and the occasional big boxing match. We'll bring our unique take on how these fights are going to play out and who we think are the best bets. Welcome to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. And now your hosts, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and Emiliano, a.k.a. Jive Turkey Nano.
Yo, what up, what up? Can you hear me okay? Good to see y'all, brother. How we doing? Man, coming off a fantastic fight night. Some craziness to talk about, but always good to be behind the mic with you, brother. Be remiss not to shout out everybody trickling on in. We see you, Nance, LFG. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks all around. We're giving it to you live and thrive, chucking and jiving, baby. Let's go.
Why did I get muted on the double there? What happened?
Double muted? Oh, here we go.
Double muted. What happened to me? Anyways, we're back. Dude, as you said, what a fucking fight card we have to talk about. UFC Qatar delivered on all fronts. I mean, hella finishes by way of submission, by way of knockout, TKO, you name it. We had them in spades, my guy. And I think we should just keep the flow going. We've been liking the new flow of starting at the top and working our way down. So let's go ahead and get on into the main event here. We had a lightweight banger in the main event between Arman Tsarukyan and Dan the Hangman Hooker. And man, was this a bout. We talked about it last week. We said that the grappling onslaught of Arman Tsarukyan would probably prove to be a little bit too much, right? And I think that is wholeheartedly what happened. It was just, there was nothing that Dan could do. He did stuff 2 out of the 4 takedowns, but that means 2 out of the 4 takedowns also landed. Arman Tsarukyan, once he was on top, he just dominated establishing that control, posting up and throwing elbows that take zero energy. Like when you're on top of a person and you use yourself just to post and let yourself drop on like that, like you could probably hear the force of that in the mic. And like, I'm no fighter, I mean, I train, but not like that, right? Arman is an elite. And if he can get his attitude in check and not headbutt people at weigh-ins, not miss weight or pull out of a fight on 24 hours notice or less than 24 hours notice for that matter, I think the guy can be a world champion. I think he can probably beat Ilia Topuria, right? Mr. Stand Your Fucking Base, pop. And dude, I got to tell you, I saw one professional fighter react to this. And I'm going to play the clip and then just please tell me that this was not every single one of us on our couch reacting in this way. All right, let's see how Sugar Sean O'Malley reacted to the submission attempts from Dan Hooker. And of course, we do not own the rights to this video. I'm going to play this clip first.
Dick swinging here, Arman with a head outside, single leg, goes into a head inside leg, Dan Hooker pulls guard, he's got that same guillotine, oh my god, what the fuck, Arman just did a 360, 180 backwards to get out. What the fuck happened? His neck, he just twisted, it's all that shit he does in the fucking workouts and shit, he just twisted the other way, you don't usually turn that way, and he did, ow. Dude, he just went, I'm an owl. He just decided to be an owl for a little bit, now Dan Hooker's on his back again, 3.5 minutes left to go.
I'm an owl. Well, I'm an owl now. Dude,
Oh my gosh.
like that clip had me in stitches, bro. But again, like it was literally, that was me, that was Mary, that was everybody I was texting on that day. And brother, like, come on. It was wild, dude. It was wild stuff. So yeah, man, I don't know. what were your thoughts on this fight overall, and also just the overall crazy guillotine defense that Arman Tsarukyan showed?
Yeah, man, he showed its levels in this game, right? I think going into it, definitely was intrigued by the headbutt, like you mentioned, by the ill will shown both from Dan Hooker and Arman, both wanting to put violence on the other opponent and make a name for themselves, like we like to say around here. Yeah, brother. I mean, I would say it kind of went how we thought it was going to be. Dan Hooker obviously had a puncher's chance at any point there, but just really wasn't able to hit home and shake things up. Arman got to do what he is good at, great at, and arguably solidify that number one contender status, and the fact that really, really strong wrestling, grappling game. He's a big 155er. I mean, dude's absolutely shredded. I don't know how he makes the weight, but again, he's somewhat disciplined, or lives the lavish lifestyle and is bolsterous, and mentioned he's going to start calling out Ilya and doing all the promotion he's got to do around it to make himself some money. And man, does he beat Ilya? I mean, that is the question that I think we all want to see, right? I mean, you've been hearing whispers with Ilya versus Islam, Ilya versus Patty, Ilya versus Justin, but it does feel like Arman is the true number one contender here at this point, and that feels like the fight you got to make. He said he could go early, January or February. He said it only needs about 8 or 9 weeks, so hey, why not do it early 2025? I think that makes sense. Let's see who the baddest dude is. But I do think Ilya matches up well for Arman. But I think we could all certainly safely say after that performance that he is the number one guy and deserves the next shot at the current championship belt, brother. But that's my 2 cents. Obviously, maybe we'll break that down and fight further at a later date once it is confirmed. But for now, speculatively speaking, I think that makes the most sense, though. And Dan Hooker, you just keep fighting the good fight, brother. You ain't going anywhere. I wouldn't mind seeing him match up with anybody, to be honest with you. I think he might have mentioned Hanato because they both suck or something like that. That'd be an hilarious fight. Wouldn't mind seeing that one. But anything to make money.
If it makes dollars, it makes sense, right? Look, man, I don't know, dude. I think the fights that make the most sense, like, Arman should really be fighting for a title next. He should be fighting Ilia Topuria. There is no other fight. The Paddy Pimblett fight, if they're not making it happen in January, it's a wash, man. Like, you schedule it for a later date. You get these, like, you do Paddy versus Justin Gaethje, and the winner gets the winner of Arman versus Ilia Topuria. I genuinely think that Ilia Topuria is he's going to be in trouble against somebody like Arman, right? And if he is who everybody thinks he is, then he starts as Arman, right? Just like he has everybody before him. And if he does beat Arman in emphatic fashion, if he does finish Arman, then he's allowed to go up to 170 and face Islam Makhachev, because he can say he finished someone that Islam finished in a better fashion than him. Because till now, I just haven't seen it, right? He's finishing the same guys that Islam's finished. And I mean, Islam did it earlier, whenever they were more in their prime. So if he's able to do that to a more prime Arman Tsarukyan, who looks like an absolute fucking world breaker, then let's go, brother. Let's go.
I like it.
But yeah, man, I genuinely think he's done enough to fight for a world championship. And then for Dan Hooker, he said it himself. There's no title run in the picture for him. So he just wants to continue going as long as he can and ruin as many people's hopes and dreams as he possibly can. I'm here for it, bro. I don't even need a name. I just want to see him keep fighting. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Justin Gaethje or Max Holloway for the BMF belt. I think that'd be a really fun one. Max Holloway versus Dan Hooker for the BMF. Sign me up, brother. Sign me up. 2 goats. Let's fucking go. Andrew Knotts. Let's go, dude. Like, share, and sub. My guy. Appreciate you, brother. Sup, Lord of the Pies. How you doing, man? Hope you're having a great day. Happy Turkey Day. Happy Turkey Day to you, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Found you. I came from fucking Insta. My guy. I found out I can go live on Insta, so I built a little backdrop for that. I realized now that the banner at the bottom of here shows at the top of that, so I need to resize a couple things. So apologies for the unprofessionalism that I'm showing today. It's not my usual MO. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Dude, happy Thanksgiving to you, my friend, and to everyone in the chat that celebrates. Thankful for you all. Dude, thankful for you as well. Thankful for the friendship that I've made with you this year, and for all the people that I've gotten to meet through this show and through the lovely sport that we call mixed martial arts. Aiden Ingram, let's go. The future, baby.
Let's go.
The real future. None of that fucking Ian Machado Garry shit here. Ian, let's go. Ian and Aiden. These guys are the 1-2 punch in regional MMA. Let me tell you. Stand and bang mode for Dan only. I mean, yeah, we got to give him some stand and bang opponents, right? That's why I said Max Holloway makes a lot of sense. Justin Gaethje makes a lot of sense. Let this guy, let him fucking bang, bro. He just wants to fucking bang, bro. No. Let's jump into this fucking co-main event because I'm sad about it. And I've got a shot to do because of it. Belal Muhammad came into the welterweight division against Ian Machado Garry. Ian Machado Garry, of course, 17-1. He was 16-1 coming into this one. Only loss came by way of Shavkat Rakhmonov. And my goodness, man, Ian Machado Garry is a cheater, huh? He pokes people in the eyes. He grabs the cage. But I digress. Solid performance for the kid. He stuffed every takedown attempted by Belal Muhammad, and they were not few, right? They were plenty. He attempted 7 of them across the duration of 15 minutes. But before I toss it to you, Nano, to take the lead on the breakdown here and kind of what you learned from this fight, I'm going to propose a question as I pour this shot up. 1, do you think that this fight was judged correctly? And 2, do you think that a point should have been deducted for the second eye poke? And if so, does that mean Belal would have won the fight?
Man, that is a fair question. I think that one was so close. I would hate for it to kind of dictate the ultimate verdict. I think also maybe if it was a little bit more, like if it did end up getting finished because of it, I think you can argue you lose the point, then it's a no contest. And then he probably does end up losing or it's a draw. But, I think I'm glad we got a finality. I'm glad we got a decision here. And I think I was surprised to see it so landslided towards Ian Machado Garry. I thought it would have been
230-27s was kind of insane to me considering Belal outlanded his opposition.
Yeah, so that was interesting. Once I heard those scores, I thought, oh, they're obviously picking Ian. But I felt like a 29-28 is maybe more fair. But to your point, you lose that point, then it's all of a sudden much closer or potential split decision or just a loss for Ian Machado Garry. But I think Belal didn't sell it enough for it to be impactful or for it to really, deduct. I think, and one of them was like the double-handed fist, which I guess maybe did get some finger or I don't know. It looked somewhat clean, but I was also watching on my phone, so hard to fully dictate. But it was a fun fight. I mean, both guys are 2 of the best in the division. Ian mentioned the awkwardness, that being a Belal Muhammad, and I think that was definitely made itself apparent. He was having a hard time, but Ian looked good at moments. Like it was really back and forth, to be honest. Again, I was just enjoying the high level technical chess match we were watching there because it was some good striking, and both of them had their moments. But I guess you can make the case Ian just was had the bigger, better moments, stuffing more of the takedowns. Maybe you give him some points there, but a fun, solid bout from 2 of the best here right now, and maybe a little bit of a passing of the torch. Not that Belal lost a lot of credibility, but I think what Ian did in the octagon there in terms of securing a victory, and then I'm gonna call a spade. I mean, cut some clean promos for what's next for him and what his duty is as the champion of the new division. I mean, I just felt like he didn't miss there. That was a 30-27 victory on the microphone for me and Machado Garry. I'm buying. I'm sipping the Kool-Aid. I'm buying the hype. I love the storytelling he's doing and simply asking for it. I mean, again, but even if it is just based on merit alone, he has beat a lot of the dudes that, are coming off a big win, right? Like a Carlos Prates and everything else. I mean, dude, I was eating it up. But a great fight overall. Hard to score. But again, that's what happens when you're at this stage, the best of the best. It's a razor thin margins. But brother, how did you feel? What were your thoughts? And give it to us, no filter, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, man. I knew that Ian Garry was not going to be able to finish Belal Muhammad, right? But I also did not think that he was going to go out there and be able to win a decision against him either. He got outlanded by 1 strike. And his opponent, Belal Muhammad, attempted 30 more strikes. So 197 to 167 attempted, 97 and 96 landed, 56-72 in terms of significant strikes. But as we talk about on this show ad nauseum, I feel significant strikes are very in the eye of the beholder, right? As we saw with the judging yesterday or day before. Day before that. My gosh, what a week it's been at work. But yeah, man, I mean, like 30-27 for 2 out of 3 judges. I just genuinely don't understand what they watched. That was a razor thin match. I don't see how you can give 2 out of 3 rounds to Ian Garry, let alone 3. I mean, I can see how you give 2, but not 3. It was a close fight, dude. But Ian Garry gets it done. Do I think that was a performance that was noteworthy? Not at all. I think it's one that no one will go back and rewatch. I think it's one that no one will go back and talk about in the history books of mixed martial arts and in the UFC in general. And I genuinely think that he does not get to leapfrog his opposition to find his way in a title shot now as a result. In fact, I think, if anything, it hinders him from getting a title shot. I think Shavkat, if he comes back, should get a title shot before him. I think Carlos Prates should get a title shot before him. I think fucking Michael Morales should get a title shot before him. And if I'm being completely honest, even though I think he's irrelevant to the conversation, he's still somehow more relevant than Ian Machado Garry. Give fucking Kamaruddin Usman a shot before you give him a shot. Fuck it, bro. Low key, it reminded me of Rory McDonald and Damian Maia. Oh my God. What a shout from Aiden Ingram. That's, as Metallica would say, sad but true. My God. That's a great comparison, Aiden.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think what we learned from this card is that they ain't doing squat about fouls. I think we just got stronger warnings. Gonna need new refs. What sucks is I like the ref they had in there for that one too, dude. Like, he's usually on top of it. And he's really on top of it with warnings, like how quickly he was getting onto who was it? Was it Belal? No. Hooker? Who was putting their hand on top of the cage? Was that Belal? It was Belal.
You're probably right. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was Belal that was putting his hand on top of the cage every time, instantaneously. Hand off the cage, Belal. Like, he's very on top of it with the warnings, but my God, dude, like, how many warnings are you going to give before you realize these things are intentional? You got to take a point. Otherwise, these dudes are just going to keep on doing it. Dix Insider, how you doing, brother? Olin, pull up to the latest tweet from KSW on Twitter and read that, because I'm telling you right now, that's going to be the future rules of what's going to happen in the UFC and PFL eventually, probably in 2026. Oh my goodness. Well, let's see. KSW, huh?
Okay.
All right. Let's see. A new addition to the KSW rule set. KSW would like to announce that starting from XTB KSW 113, apart from losing a part of his or her salary, each fighter who fails to make the weight limit at the morning weigh-ins on the day before the event shall also lose a point in the first round of the actual fight. Let's fucking go. Love that. This penalty will apply to everyone who will not make the required weight limit in their given time, meaning during the morning weigh-ins on Friday and in the additional hour given. I fucking love that rule. Dixon, I pray you're right, bro, because that would make an astronomical difference in how seriously these people were taking making weight. Garry almost got beat up by Khamzat. He did. He tried to big brother him. He did the hard slap on the back, and then Khamzat did it right back. He's like, brother, come on, dude. Yo, Sav Jelly, how you doing? Another person I'm very thankful for, and thankful for meeting this year. Grimy, Khamzat made JBJ run. He did, bro. He took him down with ease. Hell yeah. Wolf is a scary dude, like a villain from a movie. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they cast him in the next Bond as a villain. Either him or Shara Bullet, you know? Morales for the title all day. I'm not mad at that. Morales and Prates has been talking online. Again, I'm not mad at that matchup either. But if they do that, one of these guys is eliminating themselves from the title picture. I don't love that. Capitan Raf, how you doing, brother? What's up, fellas? Raf in the building. Don't sleep on my brother Michael Morales. He knows grappling and wrestling, and he's on Tijuana. His IQ is higher, and his hunger for championship title. I mean, absolutely, but gotta know my boy, Carlos Prates, Mr. Sikahachi and Whiskey. That guy's had like 103 Muay Thai fights. And you should go back and try and find some clips. I've seen some myself, and they are Nasty work, boys and girls. They are nasty work. He was dropping these fools, flying knees and kicks and punches. Oh my. With that being said, folks, if you're drinking, drink with us on this beautiful, beautiful Thanksgiving week. And we'd really appreciate it if you like, comment, subscribe, and smash that bell for notifications. Let's go. Cheers to you.
Salud.
So, what should be next for Ian Machado Garry? I think we've already really talked about it, right? I just don't think that he deserves the title. And I'll leave it at that. Nano, am I crazy here? Do you think that he's done enough?
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm sipping the Kool-Aid, brother. I do think the promo he cut, I think the resume he's put together, short of Shavkat, which if he's not healthy, he's not going to fight anytime soon. So I think sometimes your best ability is availability. But I do think that he goes potentially quick turnaround, or like he said, to Dagestan or wherever they want to fight him, and he'll answer the bell. But I do think that's, to me, what makes the most sense. He beat Belal, ex-champion. Again, good resume. Why not give him Islam? It's a good story. He cut a hell of a promo, in my opinion. So I'll reward him and give him the shot, the title there, and see what happens. See if he can get taken down, like you said. But he may be crazy enough to do it, to believe in himself. And sometimes all you need is that belief, brother. But I think that's what's next. And Belal, maybe a fight, one of those up and comers like we're talking about, or you take a little time off and kind of regroup. But still one of the top guys as well, and the most stacked division currently. So, as
Cam F. Jackson said, shout out Cam. Ian almost got finished by Cortes and lost to Shavkat. Not buying into it. Yeah, you and me both, brother. You and me both, brother. And Alex Pip, shout out again, Alex Pip. Uncle Olin, I'm right there with you. Just give all the top 5 a title shot. We gotta get out other contenders on hold for a year. Yeah, we gotta put these other contenders on hold, bro. Shavkat still has the best claim for the title fight. Brother, hear me out real quick. I already feel like Ian Garry is pretty insufferable. Okay, guys. Could you imagine if he had a 19-0 record with 18 finishes? How insufferable he'd be. I'm Conor McGregor's protege. He's Khabib's protege. It's history. We've got history here, mate. Like, bro, you trained with Conor one time. Like, you are more Charles Oliveira's protege. Just go with that. He's going to be in your corner. Conor won't. So, with that being said, let's talk about a man who's got no time. Right, we're talking about Volkan Oezdemir in the light heavyweight division, coming in against atomic Alonzo Menifield, and holy smokes, I'll keep my breakdown brief because Volkan Oezdemir made sure to keep the fight pretty fucking brief. His nickname is No Time, and he fought on Saturday morning like he had just that, no time. He landed a knee on Alonzo Menifield and then followed up with some punches. I mean, just the velocity in which he landed was nasty, nasty work, Nano. We predicted this. We said Volkan was a more crafty vet. He has a higher arsenal of striking and just more options and paths to victory. And he showed that and exactly that on Saturday morning. Alonzo Menifield simply has the power option. And when that fails, what does he do? He gets knocked out. So, Nano, my guy, did you learn anything, or was this just business as usual, my guy?
I mean, this is quickly becoming what a Mr. Volkan Oezdemir is going out there and doing, right? Taking care of the opposition in front of him. I think we knew this was going to be a quick night. Scorecards were not going to be required here. Yes, I mean, really quick work. And that's what he does, right? If he's going to win, it's more than likely going to be a first-round finish. Whether he's on the receiving end or not. But again, Alonzo had nothing for him this night. Volkan is an absolute dog. And yeah, man, I think I just learned that he is absolutely ready to continue to climb up the rankings, not fight someone below him ranked anymore. I think he's earned, he has now entered the chat, as we like to say around here. So whether it's someone like a Dom Reyes or, I mean, shit, why not even a John Mahal or a Jan Blachowicz? Like, I'm all for mixing it up and getting good on good in one of the just most notable divisions ever in the light heavyweight division here. Would love to see it happen. Alex Bejeda needs a new dance partner. He needs a new contender. And I don't know if you saw that news, if it's confirmed or not. Is he going to be fighting Mr. Olberg? Did that come out?
Looks like they're going to be the headliner for the first Paramount card, yeah.
Well, all
Looks
right.
that way, my guy.
Let's go. So they need.
I'm not
another
mad at it,
contender.
bro.
I'm not. Mad
I'm
at
definitely not mad at it at all. I think it's a very, very fun one. I think it's a solid matchup, and I think it also just makes a lot of sense from a meritocracy standpoint.
Yeah, I would agree. And if it makes dollars, it makes sense, brother.
Facts, brother. Facts. Facts. So who should be next for our winner here, Volkan Oezdemir? Man. I think Khalil Roundtree.
Ooh, I like it. It's a solid shout.
I think that's the one, bro. I just I don't know, man.
Why not?
That's what I'm saying. With that, we move on into the welterweight division for a just sad bout. Depending on who you're going for. We were going for Myktybek Orlobai. It was still sad for us, though. It was a welterweight belt, a welterweight debut for Jack Hermansson, and a welterweight debut for Myktybek Orlobai. Nano, tell the people at home, what did you learn from this fight, if anything?
Oh, boy. Well, thanks for dishing it off to me. I'll be the bearer of bad news here. And I found out that Jack Hermansson is not, maybe favored to be in the UFC anymore. I think I'm ready for him to hang him up as you cue up the violins here. It's been a good career. You did well, champ. Go ahead and rest easy now, brother. He literally got knocked out by, again, a Myktybek Orlobai, who was at one point a lightweight, fighting an ex-middleweight at welterweight. I mean, the conundrums here were obvious, and the size was obvious. I mean, Jack looked like a big boy in comparison to Myktybek, but it's not just about the size. I think we definitely learned that, and we learned the hard way on Jack Hermansson's chin, or really, I guess, the side of the ear there that really got connected, put him out of the realm. He literally didn't realize the fight stopped. You just hear the referee telling him, "Hey, the fight's over, Jack. The fight's over, Jack." And Jack had no idea. So that's all just to show Myktybek's a dude. He's got legitimate power, whether it is in the welterweight division, if he's going to stay there, training with the boys here in Sacramento, Team Alpha Male, shout out. But other than that, I mean, man, is he ready for a top 15er? I think he's close. I think even honestly, and this guy's coming off an absolute crazy win streak. I'm talking about a Joel El Fenomeno Alvarez as a really good title contender here for Myktybek Orlobai. A jump up in level of competition right outside the top 15. And then I think the winner gets that potential ranked opponent next. But man, what a performance, and RIP Jack Hermansson, brother. How did you feel about it? Tell me how you really feel.
Man, sad, honestly. I feel sad about it. I don't feel good about it. It was tough. It was a tough one to watch, man. I like Jack. I always want to see him do well, but these things happen. These things happen. And he was going down. I said it myself, like, when you've just been brutally knocked out, I don't think the best move in the world is to say, hey, you know what? I'll go down and cut more weight and drain more fluid from around my brain. I just don't know that that's the fucking move, dude. So that's what he did. Didn't go well. He got knocked out for his troubles. And I don't know, man. I think it might be time for Jack to hang him up. I don't know if I want to see him fight again, especially at welterweight. I definitely don't want to see it. It only took 15 strikes for Myktybek Orlobai, and he ultimately gets it done in emphatic fashion. Just flatlines his opposition. And I mean, what else is there to say, right? I know, like, Orlobai is that guy. He hit him with an overhand right. That's all it took. The lights went out in Qatar, and the Joker ultimately did not have the last laugh on Saturday morning. So, yeah, Joker hangs him up. Orlobai pole vaults into the welterweight conversation. And, I mean, you've got to think he's deserving of a ranking, or at least a ranked opponent at this point. I say give him Leon Edwards, bro. I say give him Leon Edwards or Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I don't know. Is that crazy? Too rich?
I mean, I certainly think in terms of appeal for the true MMA fans out there, I would think it's a fair crack. Do I think they're on the same as far as the name value or potential headliner? Or, I mean, again, Leon Edwards, ex-champion there. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, one of the greatest ever to do it, ever to lace them up. I'd love to see it personally, but again, I think that's where I was like, man, I'm right on the cusp. Like, I think someone like a Joel Alvarez or someone in that kind of approaching top 15. There's a lot of guys that have maybe beat bigger names or have been doing it a little bit longer. But I mean, you can certainly make a case for anyone in that top 15 if we're being honest, right? Like, just looking down, I mean, some of those names are old. Are some of them still fighting? I'm looking at a Colby Covington specifically. I mean, Gilbert Burns. It's like some of these guys got to keep that number by being active, right? I mean, there should be some sort of inactive clause. If you haven't fought within the last calendar year, how can you be a top contender of that said year or just in general? How do you continue that? There should be some statute of limitation there, but it's a conversation for a different day. So, yeah, brother, I don't think a number next to the name is out of the question here for Myktybek Orlobai, especially after that hell of a knockout. Let's be real. Lord of the Pies.
Kamzat almost sat on Ian Gary for 25 minutes. Dixon Sider said, Jack should have known when you call yourself the Joker, you're going to end up going down like the villain. I mean, fair. Olin, can we please call him Oral Boy? Oral Boy? Fucking Christ.
Fair enough.
Oh, I got Starlinged. Oh, man. It's the angelicized version. I hate you so much, Dixon. Oral Boy, he said. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. Okay. On that note, we move into the heavyweight division for a bout between our boy, Waldo, Salsa Boy, Cortes Acosta, against Shamil O'Neal Gaziev. And man, oh which did this fight go exactly as we predicted. We said Waldo was going to come out here and do Waldo things. And now Nano, he wants to fight a sixth time in the year 2025. He didn't say put me on the pay-per-view. No. He said put me on the Apex card, coach. I'm ready. Put me in. Dude, I fucking love this guy. Like, come on, dude. He's a fucking beast. And I think by the midpoint of next year, he's the guy that fights Tommy Aspinall, brother. I genuinely think. Just Waldo's that guy, bro. Minute 22 seconds in, he goes out there, does that, hits the right hook Ricky cameo on his boy here, puts Shamil out, and that's all she wrote, brother. What were your thoughts on our guy Waldo Salsa Boy Cortes Acosta?
I mean, like you mentioned, brother, already. I mean, nothing but pure excitement. Love the Salsa Boy. That dude's an absolute baller, like you said, wanting to continue to fight, continuing to put himself out there, and to do it in that kind of fashion. I mean, bro, that shit was slick, man. Moving like a true lightweight, if we're being honest. Just light on his feet, really good head movement. And it felt like, Shamil was just really looking for that one punch to really make a difference. But like we said, brother, like he's in a Wonder Boy, Salsa here, or Salsa Boy. If I'm saying Wonder Boy, Salsa Boy, getting the boys mixed up. Salsa Boy, Waldo. I mean, listen, man, this guy moves really, really well and is already one of the top contenders, right? I mean, in terms of what's next for him, do you maybe throw in a Razor Curtis Blades here? Maybe a Volkov if Tom and Cyril are going to fight again.
Brother, I got to tell you, like, I'm not mad at him fighting Tom next.
Oh.
Like, look at this comment from Lord of the Pies. It makes total sense. 2 ranked wins in less than a month by knockout. Meanwhile, we're about to put Ghana in for a 4th title shot when he didn't even earn his 3rd.
Ooh.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Or this, bro. Waldo versus Sergey Pavlovich. Fucking take my money. Please do it in the Apex where we can hear every fucking strike.
Sergey did beat him, so that would be kind of a get back, if you will.
Woo!
He beat him in August of 2020.
I got chills, bro. Cam fucking woke up today and chose violence in the best way.
That can be a good one.
Myktybek Oral Boy. Shout out Brady and Uncle Weezy. Fucking lazy bad dude.
Oh my god. Shout out.
Oh, I think it was the boys in the back. Shout out Lazy Bet. I heard your comments getting shouted out left and right on that show last week. We already saw that one. Waldo winning like this is not great optics for Tom. You're not wrong, brother. You're not wrong. Fans completely forgot that they didn't believe Ghana deserved the title shot, or the third title shot of the title. Yeah, no, I mean, he didn't. Let's just call a spade a spade. And I got to shout out the people. Their comments don't show up here, but we have some folks here in the Instagram chat. So we have Thug McCoy. He says, I think Marvin Vittori can defeat the Mongolian army. Marvin Vittori, little Italy versus Mongolia. Myktybek Orlobai, or Oral Boy as they're calling him in the chat here, against Marvin Vittori. I'm not mad at that one. I think that's fun, man.
I'm not mad at that either. I love that, actually. It's a proper shout. Appreciate that.
And Lord of the Pies said, I don't know who any of those guys last beat in convincing manner. Put Waldo in. Facts, Lord of the Pies. And you know who Waldo beat because he did it all in the last 8 months, kid. Recency bias in this sport is the best thing, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't Vittori on this upcoming card? Is he? Hold on. They scheduled our guy Vittori? Oh, fuck. He's fighting Bruno the Hulk Fajeda?
Oh.
I don't love that. I don't love that. Definitely Marvin Vittori versus Mongolia if he loses. Oh, he's 185 also. What? Doug McCoy. Why'd you do that to me, bro? My faith in you on Instagram. I read your comment. Made me look silly, bro. Made me look silly. It's okay. I didn't throw the name out there. Anyways, a name I did throw out there. We put a half unit on him on the show last week, and I'm going to be completely straight with you boys and girls that follow us. I placed a bet that I didn't tweet or post about. I put 2 units on him right before the fight started. Live bet on the Gooch. Come on, folks. The Gooch was loose on Saturday morning. I knew it was going to happen. Flyweight Tagir Bekov, one of them OV-enders, the name, you know what I'm saying? They're tough. Coming in against the Gooch, Kyoji Horiguchi, a young man who, what did they have, like a 7-1 record in the UFC in his first stint? Only loss coming by way of a man you might know the name of, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. Then he went on to Risen and Bellator and what have you, became champions in all of those other promotions that he went and fought in. And then he came back to the UFC 9 years later. And let me tell you, bro, there's a clip of Khabib saying, we've seen all these nations, brother. Brazil, Russia. But there is one we have not seen. Japan. I think we're going to see the return of Japan, baby, because Kyoji Horiguchi, the Gooch, as I like to call him, this guy is an absolute stud, right? Born in Takasaki, Japan, fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida. My fucking guy, training out of American Top Team with the man, the legend, Mr. Paid to Cost to be the boss himself, Dustin Poirier. The Gooch, my guy, is somebody that you need to be paying attention to. And if you haven't heard, if you didn't know, now you know, as Dana White says. Now, I remember seeing 3 tweets from 3 different users on Twitter or X. Does anybody actually call it X? Anyways, stating, holy shit, the size difference is insane. Holy shit, this is comical. Oh my God, the height difference is laughable. And the whole time I'm just like, can't wait to see these age like milk. And as Anchorman said, you know, milk was a bad choice. Because my goodness, bro, he took that size and made it all for naught. He stuffed 1 out of the 2 takedowns that his opponent got. And when his opponent did get a takedown on him, he made him pay for it. Not only did he masterclass his opponent, right, landing 120-10 on strikes. That is a 12-1 differential for those of you that are bad at math. If I hit you once, you hit me 12 times. By the way, I'm a fucking Dagestani killer. And you made me look like a small child in there. And then I landed 6 significant strikes if I'm Tagir Bekov against the 49 of Kyoji Horiguchi. Okay? Come on, bro. That is, again, like a 10-1 differential we're talking about, kids. And not only does he go out there and do that, like, I expected him to go out there and outstrike the opposition from Dagestan because, I mean, he's a fucking Japanese beast, bro, and he trains in fucking Florida. But I did not expect him to RNC him and put him to sleep. He RNC'd him and put him to sleep, bro. Come on. And like I said, thanks for echoing it in the chat, Pip. 7-1, only loss was DJ. Mark my words. If a man exists that can beat Pants, this is the guy that can beat Pantoja.
Ooh.
This is him. And I would not be angry if they gave him that shot in his very next fight.
Whoa. Whoa.
I'm calling it, bro. Like, I'm telling you right fucking now, Kyoji Horiguchi is an absolute beast. Oh, look, hold on. Let's see this comment. Perfectly timed. Olin and Nano, listen to me. When Kyoji fights Pantoja, hammer Horiguchi because Pantoja will let him, quote unquote, win so he can also achieve his dream like Alex did. Alex credits him for his and his family's success.
Oh, jeez.
He won't let him win, bro. There's no way he beats him. I'm telling you right now. And you've heard me talk ad nauseum about Pantoja. You know this, Nano. We've had conversations. I've told you he's the best champ right now. Kyoji beats him. I'm bullish on that.
I like it. I like your passion, brother. You might
like,
be right.
Who else is Pantoja going to fight? Van? He's going to beat Van. We all know that.
I know they're already fighting.
I know there's at least one guy in the fantasy fucking league that wants Van to win, but it's just not going to happen, bro.
Yeah, it's a long shot. Yeah, that's a fair, proper bout. I mean, I guess I wouldn't be mad at it because I was thinking, other than that, I mean, in terms of people that line up, like there's Amir Albazi that doesn't have a dance partner, but dude, why not just put him right next to Pantoja? I mean, hey, bread's in the pudding, and you hear all the news about him after that, like, oh, like America Top Team says this guy was always the best striker, like kind of known, like the best kept secret, like everyone in the gym knew this guy's a straight dog and one of the best in the entire gym. And you can imagine who was in that gym saying that kind of shit. So it makes sense. Iron sharpens iron for real, and he's really the catalyst. And as it showed here on Saturday morning, I guess. But I guess Saturday night in Qatar. Yeah, Kyoji's legit. He's willing to go out there and show out. And he beat a dude that was long, imposing, had good wrestling, had a lot of passive victory, but he went there and beat him at his own game, which I think is just the only 2 cents I'd want to add there. And why he certainly earned my respect. I was fading him, so I'll do a shot of water here and be rooting for Team Gucci all day, every day from here on out. Let's go.
You do your shot of water. I've got a real shot poured up in your absence here today, brother.
Always got my back. Go. I appreciate you. Let's go.
Cheers, bruffs. To everyone else drinking with us. And I'm also telling you right now, I can't even remember off the top of my head who we have in all of our futures bets, because we do have a number of them for this year. But as soon as January 2nd rolls around, or the 5th, or whenever they release those futures odds, you can bet your bottom dollar that we will be hammering the fact that Kyoji Horiguchi will be champion by the end of year 2026. I'm thinking at least 2 or 3 units on it, bro. Like, they're going to give us, like, stupid juice odds.
Yeah.
Because he'll only be, like, number 6 or 8 at that point. He doesn't fight again by the end of the year. So, I mean, I fucking love that for us.
That is solid. I like it. I like where your head's at.
I have a corn addiction. It's a great name. Is that Sus Pastor? I think that might be Sus Pastor. He uses that emoji a lot. Alex knows this, and he's not going to be a dick to his best friend. They both win if it plays out this way. I mean, Kyoji has the best chance to win a split decision. Joshua against Pantoja. Joshua has the best chance to knock him out. I agree with that. He's a nasty little savage in the pocket. He also lost that last fight up until the last 10 seconds. He won that last fight in the last 10 seconds. Let's make no mistake. I was there. To me, it's clearly obvious, bro, not going to lie, that we should bet on Kyoji Horiguchi to be the champion by 2026. Is that what you're saying? I'm hearing an endorsement from Dick's Insider, which means it's a go. Nano, with that, we move on into the prelims, my guy, because they were fucking bangers too. And we start off with exactly that. Another banger in the featherweight division between Bogdan Grad and Luke Riley. He's a fucking scouser, mate. Scousers don't get knocked out. This fucking Luke Riley kid, he fucking fights just like Paddy, doesn't he? He's even got a goofy little haircut. Fucking keeps his hands real low. slings his hooks out real wide, looping. I wasn't mad at it though, bro. Like I like the way he fought. I will tell you, in a fight that lasted 5 minutes and 30 seconds, the fact that only 37 total strikes between both fighters connected is kind of wild. I felt like both guys were respectful of each other's power a little bit too much. And then when Luke landed, boy, did he. He just launched and uncorked on his opponent. And I mean, that left hook shut him down, shut the brain off. Luke's got power, make no mistake about it, but he does make a lot of mistakes, just like Paddy Pimblett. And you'll hear me talk about this if you go back and watch our older episodes. I'm not going to ask you to. The production value is not where it is today. But I digress. If you go back and watch those episodes, you will clearly hear me say Paddy Pimblett does really, really well when he's moving forward and landing, flowing. But as soon as he gets hit, he does the opposite of what a striking coach or a good striking coach would tell you to do. Instead of tucking his chin and fading back out of the distance, what he does is he lifts his chin and floats out of the distance. And if you do that, your chin is loose. That's how you get knocked the fuck out, kid. That chin is loose. I can hit it and jar it, and it's not the concussive force to the brain that does the damage. It's the amount of rattling that it does. So this will make it move back and forth a whole lot. This, if you hit me, there's not a lot of movement that it can go, right? Which is why, like, a good striking coach will tell you that when you're throwing your strikes, you don't throw here or here, you throw here, so that way you turn that shoulder over and you protect that side of the jaw that you're throwing from. You can keep your other hand in guard. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. So, again, Luke Riley put on a great performance, but I do think he has a lot of holes in his game, and he probably suffers a brutal knockout later in his UFC career. But he retains the O in his undefeated career. He comes out here in a game opposition against Bogdan Grad and just walks him down, beats him up a little bit. 2-1 on significant strikes, dead on the money, 7-14. And I mean, total strikes, 20-17. So that shows you, right? Like 10 of those strikes were very inefficient for Bogdan Grad. Why? Because Luke Riley he's elusive. He doesn't just have lateral movement front and back. He is moving at angles. He's cutting angles to land his strikes. And it's solid to see, man. But again, I see a lot of holes. I see a lot of problems in the future. Nano, what did you learn about this Luke Riley kid? Are you excited to see him grow, or do you think it'll be a quickly burned out candle?
I don't think it'll be a flash in the pan. I think he's someone that has the chops, that is with the right training camp and the right boys to go ahead and do what we call, iron sharpening iron. Yeah, it was a fun performance. I think Bogdan came in with some good energy, dogging him up and down, looking at him. I thought, okay, he's going to make for a good fight. And, Bogdan is a grizzly old veteran in the sport, in the division, in the sport for that matter. But yeah, someone like a Luke Riley has the pedigree, has the athleticism, like you mentioned, the IQ and the game plan and the professionalism. I think all that will come with it. But he's a good raw prospect that has that special power, which is to be able to put people's lights out, right? I mean, whether it's just the timing, I think there's some things you obviously want to see him clean up. But if he's working on all the little bits of the game, I think he's athletic enough and young enough to really develop in those areas and become a force. Again, I mean, I think a lot of us like the notoriety that Paddy brings as well, and to get a victory in this kind of stage, I think is fantastic for him. So yeah, I don't think it's a flash in the pan. I think he'll be around, and I think he'll continue to build himself as long as he, like you said, makes those little adjustments to go from good to great, and maybe worry less about the showboating and all that, and just going out there and being a good mixed martial artist. But certainly has the chops for it, and I'm excited. I'll be tuned in watching Mr. Luke Riley go out there and get it done.
He says he's a sorcerer, and the sorcerers don't get knocked out. I think that's hella cool, man. Like Cody Garbrandt, that's the best interview of all time. Oh, man. Oh,
gotta love it.
Lord of the Pies says, Luke Rockhold did the same thing by floating away from the pocket. To which I responded with, don't say that about Luke. No AKA slander here, bro. I'm obviously kidding. I trained at AKA, and Luke was my boy. So I met him literally the week before he fought Bisping the first time. Not the second time, the first time. When he won Submission of the Year for the one-arm yank and crank. A lot of people forget, okay? A lot of people forget. One of the greatest submissions of all time. Definitely the greatest submission of the year. that year. It won greatest submission of all time of the year that year. Yeah, come on, bro. Like, they're 1-1, bro. They're 1-1. People don't forget, but actually they do. This is a recency bias sport. With that being said, Nano, what do we think should be next for Luke Riley in the featherweight division? Do you have a name on the tip of your tongue? Are you wanting to see this guy face the bright lights sooner rather than later and against big opposition?
I think he's certainly worth a step up in the level of competition. He's certainly someone that showcased, got a flashy knockout over Bogdangrad. Is he ready for a top 25er? I don't think so, but I feel like someone like a Jack Jenkins sitting at the 49th spot currently, coming off a win previously. A couple losses to a Chepe Mariscal and a Gabriel Santos, but other than that, has beat some notable names. He's 4-2 in the UFC, and again, coming off a win, make him a likely suspect for me in terms of what I want to see next for Luke Riley. Can he go higher than that? Potentially, but I think that's a good safety net kind of range for him at this point. Don't want to have him, burn out too quickly here. But what do you think, brother? Where are you going with this next step here for Luke Riley? What do you see?
I don't want to burn out the bright, shiny star, but I do want to see him fight some names, right? And I'm not saying like a BJ Penn. I'm not saying like a crazy fucking household name, right? But I do want to see him fight some names that we know, like a Juicy J, Julian Erosa. I think that'd be a very great test for him. The issue is Juicy J has over 40 fights professionally, so that's quite a differential there. And then the other name that I have on the tip of my tongue is another guy that has over 35 professional fights. I'm talking about an Andre Touchy-Feely. So I don't know, dude. Those are the first two names that I gravitated towards when I was looking into this. And stylistically, they make sense for different reasons, if that makes sense, right? Like, I think Juicy J will present a lot of problems on the ground for him. If he's able to get him to the ground, it's going to be tough for him. And Touchy-Feely, once he gets into that flow state, if you don't hurt him early and often, he's a tough guy to beat. He'll outpoint you. He'll knock you out. He'll put you in bad situations. He'll systematically drown you. So yeah, I like those two fights. I mean, are those maybe too rich for your blood?
You can make a case. I'm definitely sellable. So don't act like I'm going to get my diabetes over here from sitting on that sweet juice. Couldn't even get that one out. Jesus Christ, I apologize. No, man, I'm excited about those fights as well. I think it makes sense. He's certainly in a position where ladies and gentlemen. Well said. Why not? Why the F not? Throw him in there with another proper matchup.
Fucking Scouser.
I want to see this post.
Oh man. This is the last shot I technically have to pour up here. Actually, second to last. We have a welterweight belt between Nicolas Danish Dynamite Dalby coming in against Saeed Isagakhmaev. My goodness. I saw that name, was like, squirrel. Nicolas Danish Dynamite Dalby is a fucking mythic fight, bro. We just got it wrong. Like, before this, it was if he goes to Brazil and beats a Brazilian, he will win against all odds. He could be a plus 800 favorite or dog. He's gonna win. He went to the Middle East and he beat a Dagestani guy on not one, not two, but 3 judges' scorecards. I mean, or no, two out of 3. Sorry. One of them still drinking the Kool-Aid, you know what I'm saying? But 2 out of 3 is still crazy in the Middle East. In Doha, in Qatar. I'll gladly pour up my shot for this because I actually like Danish Dynamite. I wanted him to win. I just didn't think it was going to happen. I'm sad that I didn't put money on him. I'm sad that we didn't put money on him. And I'll be honest, we would have exactly, or not exactly, but just under broke even for our bets if I didn't put those 2 units on fucking Gooch. But we're still up. We're still up over a unit and a half this week, folks.
Let's go.
Let's go. That's what we do. 5 out of 7 bets hit. And we appreciate you folks for joining us along the ride. If you tell us, we hope you all won as well. We hope all your extra bets hit. Cheers to you. Cheers to us, all the fuss and the muss. And cheers to having a happy Turkey Day if you celebrate. Cheers.
Salud. Thankful for y'all. Gobble, gobble. Turkey. Lego.
Gobble, gobble. Turkey, turkey. You know what I'm saying? Nano, what were your thoughts on this fucking Nicolas Dalby versus Sagid Ismail fight?
Man,
Ismail.
It was a crazy one. It was a fun matchup. Stylistically, we knew what Sagid Ismail wanted to go out there and do, but he was not able to get it done. At least he did on one of the judges' scorecards, who maybe was favoring the takedowns and his ability to kind of mix it up and still hold his own in some cases during the exchanges. But it just felt like Nicolas Dalby, man, got that Danish Dynamite going early and often. Really, solidified the rounds 2 and 3 in my book, just with his output, with the significant strikes, stuff in those takedowns. I just think he really ended well. And a lot of times it's maybe who finishes with their hands up and is kind of getting the momentum later in the fight. I think that usually warrants more of the decision or more of where I would have leaned as well. But yeah, to be honest, I thought Sagid was going to get rolling and become a bear in there as far as just his ability to wrestle and frustrate and control his opponent. But Mr. Dalby, you can teach the old dogs new tricks, but you can't take that old dog out of him, man. He's a complete junkyard dog still with this age. I mean, man, just got to tip the cap sometimes and call it what it is. He's a stud, and there's levels in this game. In terms of what's next for him, maybe it's someone like a Michael Maverick Chiesa, who's on the back nine of the career as well. Maybe a bounce back for a Randy Rude Boy Brown, who certainly needs. Well, actually, he already beat him, so I don't know if they really do that one again. But maybe a Curtis Action Man again. Just get him back in there with someone else that's on the back nine, but can put up a good fight for us fans. I think that's all we want around here. But how do you feel about that? And what's next for Mr. Dalby in the Danish Dynamite?
Man. This fucking guy. I mean, he's good, right? Like he just proves us wrong time and time again. He truly does. I don't know, man. Who should be next for him? I'll be honest. There's one name above all that makes the most sense to me right now. He doesn't have a lot of time. I don't know if he's trying to go on a title run, but if he is, this makes sense. And it's outside of the top 20. Give me Uros the Dr. Medic. Like, have they fought? They have not. They have not fought.
That's a great shout. Hell of an opponent.
I think those guys stack up very well against each other, bro.
Yeah. Doctor's going to be looking to bounce back here. Coming off a couple wins. Big finishes in the first round.
This is the best comment of the show. You don't need pants from the waist up, Olin. So fun fact, I work from home. I have my personal laptop, which I run the show from here, and then my screen, and then my work laptop here, which I connect to my screen when I'm working. Yeah, I wear pajama pants for most of my work days. Even when I'm wearing a nice button-up shirt and do my hair like this. So, yeah, you're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong. The bottom does not have... The carpet does not have to match the drapes, as they say. Oh, Alex Pip said, follow Uncle Olin and Nano for all your investment advice. Let's go. And follow Alex Pip for all your realtor advice. I'm most thankful they finally announced Silva versus Allen because I'm terrible at keeping secrets. I have a secret right now, too lazy. I did tell Nano. Sorry, Ian. That happened. But we're not telling anybody. And can't wait for it to get announced so we can finally breathe. Man. It really is the worst keeping secrets, not having no pants. Yeah. I mean, having no pants is fine, especially when it's not cold out. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it actually is as cold as it gets in San Diego. So I am wearing pants, but they're only windbreakers. But yeah, it sucks to have secrets. Actually, I guess that depends on the situation. If it's a good secret, I mean, it is a good secret. But see, that's why it sucks, because I want to share it with all you guys. I want to tell you that, let's see. I truly want to tell you that, but I can't. I genuinely can't tell you. So it is what it is. It is what it is. And with that, we move on down into the flyweight division, figuratively and literally, for Alex Perez versus Asu Almabayev. Nano. I'm going to keep mine short and sweet. I think this fight went exactly as I thought it was going to go. I did think Asu Almabayev was going to outland Alex a little bit and dominate the takedowns a little bit more than he did. They attempted the same number of takedowns. However, Alex landed 3. Asu only landed 5. But if you look at the actual stats on this one, right, there's a different story to be told. Because the amount of control time was only 1 minute and 12 seconds for Asu Almabayev, compared to almost twice that much for Alex Perez. And yet, Asu Almabayev was so much more efficient with what he did on the ground. In terms of submissions specifically, right? He did not outland his opponent on the ground. Alex Perez, make no mistake, was hunting for ground and pound. He was trying to hit his opponent. He was trying to hurt his opponent, but that's not what you want to do, right? If you're talking to a grappling coach, he'll always tell you position over submission. And if you strike, you're giving up a lack of position. So Alex did exactly that. He struck and struck and struck. He gave up positions. Could have remained in dominant positions for much more of that control time because the fight lasted well over 10 minutes, right? But he only racked up 2 minutes of control time off of 3 takedowns, which means he had to work significantly harder to get that control time. So Asu Almabayev, extremely efficient with the grappling, extremely efficient with the overall game plan, and ultimately gets the finish via submission in the 3rd round. I want to say he looked good, but realistically, Alex Perez makes most people look fairly mortal, right, Nano? But Asu Almabayev went out there and got a finish over him. And I don't know, man. It was tough. It was tough. I like both these guys. I just knew that Asu Almabayev was going to end up winning this one. So I was happy to see it happen.
Yeah, I agree. I felt like it was a proper passing of the torch, if you will. Alex Perez is certainly an OG, triple OG, and unfortunately, this game, the UFC game, and Father Time are undefeated, and it's a young man's sport. And like we talked about, it's a lot of what have you done for me lately. But I think for an Alex Perez, it's just you're starting to see the skill gap kind of separate itself. You're seeing less of the explosion, less of the pack of the punch, even though he did have his moments to really change up the game or find a path to victory. It just quickly was shown with Asu Almabayev's real willingness to go out there and make it messy, to get Alex off his game, to take those chances, go for the takedowns, to get the strikes and ultimately find the submission victory there. I mean, just absolute slick, and it just shows to me that Asu's going out there to get the job done. He's not going to want to leave in the judge's hands, which is good and bad for maybe himself in the sense of being more vulnerable to exposing himself for counters or things like that. But love the tenacity and love the win over a savvy veteran like an Alex Perez. And I think now you're in the driver's seat. Maybe you just kick your heels up and wait for someone to kind of present themselves or call you out. But whether it's, again, Amir Albazi just doesn't have a dance partner. 4 versus 7 certainly makes sense looking at the new rankings here. Kyoji Horiguchi is new and on the scene and just fought as well. Again, just spitballing in terms of what's next. I think anybody in the top 10 can get the smoke from Asu Almabayev, and it's going to be a rough night regardless. But how do you feel? What do you think's next? I know we might have different plans for Gooch, but do you think he gets an Amir Albazi? Do you think he fights down like a Steve Irsig? How you feeling about next for Asu?
Man, as far as what's next for Asu Almabayev, I think he should fight the loser of Brandon Moreno versus Mr. Tatsuro. I'm happy to go! Taira. I just think the loser of that fight makes the most sense stylistically and from a trajectory and meritocracy point, right? Like, if you look at the flyweight rankings on Tapology, currently we have Asu Almabayev sitting at number 9, and Tatsuro Taira is number 5. Brandon Moreno is number 3. You got to think the loser of that fight is going to come down to number 5 or 6, and that's perfect timeline and trajectory for Asu Almabayev, considering they're fighting 2 weeks from now.
There we go. That makes sense. I like it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that one, man. Miss Mary 616 says sometimes he's totally bottomless. She's not wrong. It's bad having no pants when it's cold outside. Facts. Miss Mary. Joke's on you. I'm a military trained lip reader or a habitual liar.
Both
Lazy
words apply. Nice.
Meatball Molly competes in her second pro boxing bout this weekend. She's a minus 1,000 favorite. Her opponent is 1-0 with her lone win coming over a woman who's 0-24-1. Oh my God. So you're saying we should sprinkle on her opponent.
Boxing.
If your name is Alex, you have the best base for becoming an MMA champion, says Alex Babe. You're not wrong. Alexandre Pantoja, Alexander Volkanovski, Alex Perez, pretty close. Alex Pineda. I mean, there's probably more that I'm forgetting, but off to a good start. Off to the races, as they say. Speaking of off to the races, Abdul Rahman Yakiaev coming in against Rafael Cerqueira in the light heavyweight division. Nano. Oh, man, I'm going to keep it extremely brief because this fight only lasted 33 seconds. Yakiaev came in there with a spinning back wheel kick that would make most men blush who watch the sport of MMA. And, I mean, it didn't even connect. It hit the guard, and it still looked like it didn't feel too good, right? He continued then brushing forward, gets a slam takedown, and then finishes via submission. All of this exchange took a whopping 33 seconds in the duration of this fight. Just 3 seconds longer than his debut in Dana White's Contender Series, don't you know? I mean, this was just incredible showmanship from Yakiaev. Went out there, made quick work of a man who was 11-3 coming into this, and finishes ultimately by rear naked choke, just deaded his opponent. There was nothing Rafael could have done in that fight. I don't know, man. I can't help but think we're probably going to see more of the same from this guy. Nano, what did you learn?
Yeah, I learned he's all a bit of the hype that we thought he was. Granted, we didn't necessarily have high hopes for Rafael Cerqueira, who was coming off multiple back-to-back losses and just really was someone that was going to expose himself to the head strikes and bad defense. It was bad news bears all around when we were breaking it down. That's just the reality of the situation. But man, still to go out there and do it, even if it is assumed you are going to go out there and take care of business. It was violent from pillar to post, absolute nasty work. I mean, he really could have got the TKO victory, but he settled with the submission win all in the first round, right from the jump. I mean, again, just completely ragdolled and solidified himself as a dude here in the light heavyweight division. Hopefully earn himself some money as well. As far as what's next for him, I mean, I think you throw him in there, right? I mean, I'm not necessarily demanding a top 25 or even a top 15 by any means, but someone like Billy Elikana, who has a couple wins here in the UFC, always down to scrap. I'm confident he would say yes to that call. A Navajo Sterling, 3-0 in the UFC, ranked 25th. Dare I say, even my boy Zach Savage Reese. I mean, it's not a good matchup for him, but he's willing to answer and always says yes. But you got to throw him against one of these absolute dogs here to solidify and see if he's really got it in terms of making the next step up there in the light heavyweight contender status. Dude's a problem, though. Again, he's got a lot of skills, and that kind of victory certainly demands a step up. Any names tickle your fancy, or do you have someone else in mind? How you feeling about what's next for Abdul?
Honestly, I don't really care who's next for him. The guy is an absolute phenom, and light heavyweight is pretty shallow right now, so I wouldn't mind if they pole vaulted him up. Give him Alonzo Minifield, who's coming off a loss. Give him Dustin Jacoby, who's a kickboxing phenom. Give him Jimmy the Brute Crute, who's on a 2-fight tear right now. Like, I genuinely, you put him in front of somebody, I'm going to watch the fight. The guy's exciting. He's just extremely exciting, bro.
I agree.
And with that, we have 3 fights left, folks. We move on into the bantamweight division for a bout between Beksat Almakan and Aleksandre Topuria. Another guy whose name starts with an Alex without an X and could potentially end up being a champion in the next couple years. Who knows? Nano, what were your thoughts on this one? Did you learn anything? And what stood out most to you between this bout?
Yeah, I think I learned that there's something in the blood. There's something in the water. There were those Topuria boys. The apple didn't fall too far from the tree, though he definitely made some mistakes or was getting the legs checked a little bit more than I would have liked. The reality of the situation is he's got that Topuria power. He's got the skill set. He's got the same back tattoo. Moves very similar fade. A little bit of a bigger beard. Maybe that's a bet in between the two brothers. But listen, man, I mean, the dude's got all the skills. We knew he's going to have the right game plan. And it became very obvious after a while, though. Beksat did have some moments. Again, he was striking the legs. He was landing the uppercut and had Topuria sort of second-guessing himself at times. It really just became obvious in that second, third round for me, though the striking differential was close, that Topuria was landing the heavier shots, literally dropped him at one point. Though I wish he would have been a little bit more hungry in, as far as seeking that TKO victory, as far as stringing along like bigger or larger combinations instead of the 1-1-2s, 2-1, big right overhand, like maybe throw a 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 punch combo, ripping the body going upstairs. That's what his brother does a lot. I guess is better, frankly, which is why he's able to put some of these guys out with that power and with the proper combinations from a puncher perspective. You got to just be willing to take more shots and trust that your head movement and your ability to get up the center line are going to prevent you from really taking any serious damage. But other than that, man, he's a dog. Beksat is also a dog. He didn't really lose any respect in my book. He showcased well, but Aleksandre Topuria, brother, he's got that Ilya in him. Though he's not necessarily the pound-for-pound fighter that his brother is, I think he certainly has that skill set and ability to take a step up and potentially fight a top 15er. I mean, a Marcus McGee, Kyler Phillips, all guys that are waiting for a dance partner. Why not and settle up and see what they got, man? I'm all for him getting the star treatment there, a little nepotism, and hopefully taking a step up and getting back in there sooner rather than later. How did you feel, brother? Did you see things differently? Were you not impressed with his performance? How did you feel?
I was actually impressed with his performance. I thought he was going to lose, man. This is my last shot bet. I don't know, man. I thought Beksat was going to have more in the gas tank. He just got outlanded in those later rounds, right? Like they got away from him. Alexander, I said, was all strength and no technique, and I was wrong. I put my foot in my mouth this week. He proves me wrong. I'd love to see him fight a Kyler Phillips or a Marcus McGee. Those are the fights on the tip of my tongue that make the most sense. I think from a meritocracy standpoint and from an age standpoint, like those just make the most sense. If you give him Kyler Phillips, yes, Kyler's much younger than him, but he's had a longer UFC tenure and career. Same with Marcus McGee, but Marcus McGee, I think, might actually be older than him. He's one of the older bantamweights, right? So I don't know. It depends. Do you want to see him fight a younger guy or an older guy? Either way, I think both of those are really good names. One is number 14. The other one's number 15. Outside of that, Rob Font would be a really good one. Would he get jabbed up across the distance? I simply don't know. Nano, I know you're not drinking today, but we had one on this one. So cheers to you. Cheers to us. Cheers to the fans.
Salud.
And I got to pull up this comment. Lazy Bet MMA. Great member of the chat here said, been putting it into the universe for months. Van miraculously beats Pants. Taira decisions Moreno, and we get the first all-Asian title fight in UFC history. Van versus Taira, Saitama Super Arena, Japan. And of course I had to say, holy shit, Lazy. How dare you put that fairy tale into my head? Because man, that's certainly a fucking tale, huh? Could you imagine the scenes? Alex Pip said Yakyayev dominated him in all aspects of MMA in 33 seconds. Facts, bro. That was a technical fight. Topuria just out-pressured him. Some nasty jabs and good feints from Alex Pip. Brother. The crystal ball. Lazy bed. I mean, from your lips to God's ears, bro. If that happens, make no mistake about it.
I'm happy, thank you!
My guy. Nano, what are your thoughts on that kind of alternate timeline possibly playing out?
I think it could definitely happen. I mean, this division, although Pantoja has been a staple, it certainly is drumming up some more interest as of recent. I mean, Joshua Van is someone that we really need to give credit where it's due. Like, he's an absolute stud. He could go out there and shock the world like he did not too long ago. But that him, Brandon, like I'm a big fan of Brandon myself. So it's like I'm always going to give him the whatever star treatment you want to call it, Dana White privilege. Like, he deserves to fight whoever, whenever, especially if he goes out there and beats. I'm happy to go, but he may be, make another famous quote this upcoming week. I mean, man, that's what's fun about this sport. You just never know. It's all about matchups, and styles make fights. So now you answer a Topuria brother in there. I mean, si se puede, it's going to be an absolute banger. That's all I know. But I think that ultimate timeline may be more realistic than we think. Definitely some magic crystal ball action here. Let's go.
Lazy Bad said when the line guys up on when they line up guys like this on the same card, same timeline, they have motives. Oh, you're not wrong, bro. Definitely not wrong. With that, we move into the middleweight division between Ismail Naurdiev and Ryan Superman Loader. If Ryan Loader is truly Superman, then Ismail Naurdiev had the kryptonite on Saturday morning, bright and early for him. 3 strikes to 1, 3 significant strikes to 1, and a knockout in just 3 strikes. No, we can almost skip this fight. It was just sad. From someone that liked Ryan Loader, he was the nicest guy on the tough season this last season, and man, it sucks to see him lose like that. But Naurdiev is just no joke. He is simply too much for a lot of these guys to handle, and he went out there and proved it on Saturday morning. Not a whole lot stood out to me. This fight went pretty much how I thought it was going to go. I thought it was going to be a quick finish, whether a submission or a knockout. I leaned more towards the knockout. I know that Naurdiev has extreme power for the middleweight division, and he showed it on Saturday morning. So, Nano, what were your thoughts on this one? All 4 strikes of it.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head. It was an absolute ass whooping. Feel bad for Ryan Loader, someone that I have a lot of respect for, but the reality is this guy Ismail Naurdiev is a problem. He has the power, like you mentioned. He has the tenacity, and he's got a chin, and he's got the skill set to go out there and ruin a lot of people's nights. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's next for him in terms of matchmakers concerned, but you could throw anyone at him, really, and it's going to be a problem. You just start listing some of them off, right? Like a Michael Oleksichuk, 9-7. Maybe Kelvin Gastelum coming off a win. Nursultan Rozaboyev. Maybe even Jung Young Park. I mean, again, a lot of guys on paper make sense when you say them both match up against each other based off that kind of performance. And this guy Ishmael may be on the upper hand or might have the betting favorite on our DraftKings preferred sportsbooks. Go check him out. Let us know that we sent you. Yeah, he's a problem and deserves definitely a step up in competition after that.
And with that being said, we move on into a lightweight bout because I don't care to play matchmaker for Ismail Naurdiev. Between Nurullo Aliyev and Shaq Rock, aka Shaquem Rock, making his debut alongside his friend and training partner Luke Riley. Nano, what are your thoughts on this fight? I'll let you take the lead.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a back and forth. I think the numbers would indicate that Shamrock did enough on paper to win. Outstruck his opponent in the last 2 rounds, which I usually feel like is enough to get the decision win. But they're looking at the full body of work, and Nurullo Aliyev got the nod. Again, was able to land one of his takedowns, stuffed 8 of his opponent's takedowns, had a submission attempt. And again, 63 total strikes in comparison to his opponent, Shamrock. So maybe it was just one of those things, just a day late, $1 short. You know, you needed to really edge out or make that second round, which feels like it was the closer one on paper. Though he had more strikes, he did get taken down and his takedown stuffed, being Shamrock. So maybe you just weren't able to do enough. Razor thin loss. Maybe you got to find a way to start off a little bit hotter so you could win that first round instead of having to try to bounce back in the last two there. But Nurullo is he's a problem. He's someone that is definitely going to continue to climb, but this is a stacked division. So like we've been talking about, don't necessarily have any big names top of mind for a Nurullo Aliyev in that division, but certainly someone that is a win or two away from being a more notable contender here representing Tajikistan. How did you feel, brother? Did anything stand out to you as far as this bout and the close decision win here for Nurullo?
I mean, I think Aliyev's stock skyrockets in this bout, right? Like, he goes in there against Shaq Rock, who had a lot of following and fanfare behind him. And I mean, let's call it a spade, right? Like, he's turning into a very complete lightweight, right, Nano? The flag fiasco post-fight just added a little extra spice to the momentum that he was gaining in this fight. I mean, I don't know, man. What's next? Drew Dober coming off a win?
Ooh, I like that.
Why not?
That's a fun shout. Yeah, why not? I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Dick's Insider said, there's so much Asian glaze going in here right now. We can't baste it on a ham for Thanksgiving. I mean, that's fair. Lord of Pie said, I don't think you've ever said anything that has ever come true, Lazy. You can't just create plot armor out of thin air. To which Lazybed responded, I don't even know what plot armor means.
Joked on you.
Nah, Ismail. Let's go, dude. Ismail's a fucking beast. Rock did a great job blocking punches with his face. Shimrock needs to make some Shimrock shakes at McDonald's with Malcolm Fellmaker.
Oh, be nice.
Hey, what up, Juice? The Juice is loose. How you doing, brother? Dude, we are having a great day. Zero complaints. Zero complaints, my guy. And with that, we move on into the heavyweight division for a bout that I was also wrong about between Marek Bujila and Denzel Freeman. No, you were correct. So I'm going to let you take the lead on this one. What did you think about this fight? Did it deliver?
Not necessarily. I would think if a heavyweight fight, had to go to the decision scorecards and the judges, then I'm not necessarily a huge fan of it. You know, we're talking about 70, I guess maybe 80 total strikes amongst the two heavyweights here, and I wasn't afraid of Marek Bujilo's ground game and his grappling. I mean, just looking at Denzel Freeman, looks like a classic heavyweight, big arms, big traps, shoulders. So obviously has that strength factor there, and I'd give him the advantage in that realm. But he looked good, not great. Let's be honest. Again, you went to a decision here. You did finally pour it on in that third round. Once you felt like the first and second were pretty close. We're talking one strike differential between the two. But I felt like he just had the more meaningful punches, the more meaningful exchanges. And then if you got to tip the cap somewhere, it's, again, outlaying his opponent 21-3 in the final round there to really make it look better in the judges' eyes and how they're judging their scorecards. So did enough, but I'm not necessarily going to throw him a top 15er or a big name after something like that. I'm going to need to see a little bit more from a Mr. Denzel Freeman. But what about you, brother? How did you feel about this?
Yeah, it didn't really deliver. Marek Bujilo did not live up to expectations. Denzel Freeman also did not live up to expectations. I don't think either man really gains a whole lot of stock from this grindy, windy performance. But as far as what's next for Denzel Freeman, I'd love to see him fight at Dontel Mays. I think that'd be a good test for him. Can he get up if he's taken down? What have you? But I don't know, man. Ship Denzel back to PFL and tours. Said Dick's Insider.
Yeah, not a bad one. Not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Hope you guys are having one hell of a day. We are, for sure. Hope you are as well, Juice Man. And stay warm, said Juice Man. Brother, we are. Definitely staying warm. This fight cured my insomnia. Damn. Damn. You hate to see it, man. You hate to see it. But it's true. I'm telling you right now, Olin, Mays versus Denzel goes to a decision. Lock. I mean, yeah. Mays is my hometown boy, unfortunately. Oh, I'm sorry, Pip. He's on our no bet list. Ends in split decision. Oh, that might be a nod. Let's go, Nance. Let's fucking go. Oh man, with that, folks, that's it. That's all the fights. We've already gone through them all. We'll do a little quick Thanksgiving video, and then we'll do our sign off. Happy Thanksgiving from the MMA Anomaly crew, from us to you, from ours to yours. And folks, we hope you hit all of your bets this weekend, as long as they weren't against us. And even if they were, it's over. So we hope you hit. If we lost, we hope you catch something. And with that being said, folks, if you didn't follow us, if you bet against us, if you laughed at us for the last hour and 26 minutes, that's fine as well, as long as you do us these last two favors. We ask that you keep on going, and we ask that you keep on growing, folks. We appreciate you for being here, and we truly hope you're here next week. Or actually, tomorrow. Let's go.
You've been listening to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. As you may have been able to tell, we dig the MMA, and our passion is to dive deep into the upcoming fights, give you our expert breakdowns, and help you make sense of all the chaos that is the fight game. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, make sure to find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at MMAnomaly. Be cool, and we'll see you next time.